What's up, guys? Lone Driver Mike again, bringing you guys another video. Guys, what is up? So in today's video, we're going to talk about Postmates. What is it like to work Postmates in the year 2020? And there's some old ones and stuff. There's some old videos, but you gotta kind of be current. So if I post a video and you're like, Mike, you made that video already. It's like, well, times are changing, pay changes, tips change, people change, the apps change. So I'm adapting. Every year I'm adapting how things change. So I have to, I might have made a Postmate video before, but now that old video no longer applies. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's still a good video. Some stuff that I said that it's true, and still up to date, but some's not. So I have to constantly update you guys on what's going on. If you didn't know, I started my channel in 2017, the end of December 2017. So my channel's going on almost 3 years, but I've been doing gig work, Uber, Lyft, Grubhub, Doordash, Uber Eats, Caviar, Postmates, dog walking, Wag. So I've been doing apps for 5 years, but yeah, let me just get into it. So Postmates, I had an account with them, but I think I had to reactivate it or something. Something happened. So I reactivated it and background check good. Boom, approved probably within 5 minutes. So if you're concerned about, if you're wanting to get on another app, Postmates is pretty cool. They check your account within 5 minutes. They check your background. You might apply with Grubhub or Doordash, and it might take a few days. Postmates is right away. So they had to run another background because I've been inactive I was inactive for I think 2.5 years. So they just had to redo it, and then that's it. So anyways, Postmates. So if you didn't know already, Postmates, it used to be a flat $4 fee. It'd be a minimum of $4, and that's what I remember. And then, I'm accepting the orders, and I'm like, what the hell, $2.60? And that's pretty low, I'm not gonna lie. But the cool thing with me is I stay in a very small area. I'm picking up, dropping off, sometimes around the corner. Sometimes they're literally across the street or 1 or 2 blocks down. That's how close they are. So the fact that the pay is low, it is what it is, but it's usually anywhere, if a little bit further, it's $4 or $5. So, on average, it's $3 to $4, which is still all right, and then they give these promotions too, guaranteed earnings. So that's a little extra. On the weekend, it's a little bit better. It's guaranteed $5 or $6 per order. So if you don't hit that guaranteed earnings, they actually pay you, they make up the difference. So which is not too bad, right? So anyways, I've been doing Postmates here in Sacramento, and it's not too bad. So yeah, but the sad thing is they don't have a minimum now. So it used to be a flat $4, and they lowered it, and it sucks. But it's it is what it is, and you just have to adapt. And but I'm telling you, Postmates, Uber Eats, I think last week one day I ended up doing 40 deliveries. It was just nonstop. It was great. It was really good. So, and then some people are like, well, Mike, that's just too many deliveries. And like I said, I have a weekly goal, so I don't really care about, like I said, with Postmates, they don't tell you the tip right away. So you have to wait. You might have to wait a few days. One of my deliveries I did the other day, it was 4 days ago, and I didn't get the tip right away. But it came 4 days later, and the tip was 14 or 15. I did a really big order a couple days ago. The tip came in at $15. There's another big order that I did. The tip hasn't posted yet. So, like I said, if you're desperate for money, and you're I mean, the cool thing with Postmates and Uber Eats, the combination combined, you can actually cash it out. Like, you can cash it out for 50 cents. So, you could, bust ass, put in the orders or whatever, and if you're desperate, you need money, you just cash it out. You get it right away. Whatever, and see if you're not sure, like you're getting paid, like, oh, it says 100, now it says 150, like what happened? Usually, if the amount actually goes up randomly and you're not sure why, go to your app, go to deposits. It's like on the main screen. It's got different options. Go to deposits and then click details, and it'll tell you if it was a tip, if it was promotion, if it was a bonus, if it was delivery pay, if it was like whatever. Like, it'll tell you if it's a tip, what type of payment it was. Like, it was a tip, it was a delivery payout, if it was a promotion, if it was guaranteed, if it was some kind of bonus or like whatever it is, it'll tell you. So the one thing I don't like about Postmates is it doesn't tell you who tipped you. So, like, say for example, batch orders, right? So that's the one thing I don't like, is that if you do 2 orders or 3 orders at one time, and like I got like a random like $12 tip, but it was like attached to 4 delivery, like it was a batch, it was like one, it counted as one. I mean, it was separate. Okay, that's another thing. Let me say something real quick about that. So batch orders, I'm gonna tell you this. You guys can do what you want to do, but with batch orders, if it's from the same restaurant, you actually get ripped off on the pay, right? It's like they treat it as one delivery pay. Like, I did 2 orders from like Chipotle, and the pay was $4. I'm like, what the? For 2 deliveries, $4. So I'm like, no. But if you do it from separate restaurants, they actually pay. It's either fair or a little bit more than fair, because they actually they charge you, they pay for each pickup and each drop off. So like, if it's different customers, different restaurants, like, say, you got a Makuni, and then all of a sudden you got a PF Chang's, and then you got to go over there, and then all of a sudden you get like a bento box, and then you got to drive over there to pick up. So that's actually, it pays fair because they charge like each delivery. So you're getting each delivery pay. If you were to do like 2 or 3 orders from the same restaurant, you actually get screwed out of your money. So that's just a heads up. So yeah, I got a batch order. Like, I ended up doing 4 deliveries, and like it randomly was like, hey, you got a $12 tip. So I clicked on it, but it didn't tell me like who tipped, like which restaurant that tip was from. You know what I'm saying? Like which customer. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So with me, what I do is I basically I try to get the better restaurants. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I got two orders one time. It was University of Beer. It was like 2 items, and the tip was like $12. And then another one was Beach Hut Deli, and that was a $12 tip. And that was only 2 items, 2 sandwiches. And then the University of Beer was only 2 items. Like chicken strips, fries, and some burger. So I'm telling you, like, even if it's not a really big order necessarily, if it's from a decent restaurant, like if it's not fast food, if it's good quality, and if sometimes I could do 2 items, right? But they charge so much for the food. Like, University of Beer charges a lot. Beach Hut Deli, their sandwiches are they put a lot of meat in them. It's top quality bread. It's fresh. It's good quality food. So people, if you get like a McDonald's or say Starbucks order, like, the chances of a decent sized tip is probably going to be kind of low. So I just kind of, I kind of play it by ear. Like today, I think I kind of messed up a little bit. I was a little bit too picky. So it'll just vary. It varies between market, but it also varies between shifts. Like the lunch shift, the lunch rush is a little bit different because you're not going to be getting those big orders, good quality sometimes. Like, I was trying to shoot for the better quality orders, bigger orders, but it didn't work out too good. Like, they were sending me, I'm not saying Chipotle's trash, but I consider Chipotle like fast food. But see, I did do Chipotle before with Postmates, and I got screwed out of my tip. So it's just like, it's nothing personal against Chipotle. I mean, I just had Chipotle. They're pretty good. But see, I'm running a business, right? So if I go back and look at the type of restaurants, like which customer, which customers are ordering from certain restaurants and who's tipping, who's not, the restaurant's not tipping me, but it doesn't say what the customer's name or the address. It'll just show a picture of the restaurant with a little symbol, like a little picture, kind of cool, like a little art design. So that's the only thing you can go by is the restaurant. So it's like, okay, I've been doing Mikuni orders. My tips are always $5 or higher. I decided to do McDonald's just for shits and giggles, just to see what happens. No tip, $1. So, you just have to kind of learn your market and see. I try to get as many as possible, just because, like I said, with Uber Eats and Postmates, like the tip doesn't show up right away. So you have to kind of take a gamble on these orders. So when you're doing Postmates in 2020, you have to kind of accept the bigger orders, the better restaurants. I mean, you could just accept every order and just see what happens, right? But you can take a McDonald's, but what if the next order was like from Bento Box or like a better restaurant, P.F. Chang's or something, or a steakhouse or Italian food? I get the better tips on those types of orders, right? So I'm just telling you how Postmates is and how I do it. You guys can do what you want to do. Oh, another thing about Postmates in 2020, I don't know if you guys remember, but my rating was like 4.8, 4.9. It'd go up and down. But I went back to check out my rating and it wasn't there. So I emailed them and I was looking through the app. They no longer have a rating system, right? So, and I read that ratings will not affect your ability to deliver with us. So customer rates, I don't even know if there's a rating system because it doesn't even show you. I think they said a thumbs up or thumbs down. So if you get a thumbs down, that doesn't even affect you. You don't even get in trouble for that. So there's no rating with Postmates, just a heads up. But there used to be, so I just want to let you guys know. So yeah, and like I said, tips can come the same day, the next day. I've gotten tips when I used to do, when I did Postmates 3 years back. I would get tips like a week later or something. But normally, on average, your tips are going to post anywhere from 1 to 3 days, 4 days later. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. Like, if you're desperate for money and you're like, well, I want to know exactly what I made for the day, it's not how it works with Postmates and Uber Eats. Well, you can get Uber Eats days later, the tip, but normally it posts about an hour later. But with Postmates, like, you have to wait for your tip. So me, I just set a weekly goal of like $1,000 a week. So, I kind of messed around last week. I didn't really go hard I didn't really, give it my full last week, but I still managed 940. So that's not bad. I mean, running 2 apps. I did do a little bit of Caviar, but I'm very disappointed because they sold out to Doordash, and I just don't like Doordash. And Caviar was a great app. I mean, I'm telling you, Caviar was great. And they sold to the wrong guys, and I'm just, and I keep getting notified from Caviar, come on out, we need some help. And I just, what's the point? They're going to be done in a month. If you have a Doordash account, you could do them, I guess, but they're going to change the pay. And that's the cool thing about Caviar. There was no rating system as well. But now they're still going to have Caviar as a customer app. But now if you're a driver with Doordash, it's just going to be like a Doordash order. Like, I loved Caviar. I loved the app. I loved how it was. The tips were good. No rating system. I never had any type of problems with Caviar. So Doordash, they're just trash. I don't like them. But anyway, so back to Postmates. So yeah, I've been doing pretty decent. Like, I've taken smaller orders. I've taken bigger orders. The tips kind of just vary. Because like I said, I did two orders. Both had 2 items. And they both tipped like $10 to $12. and they were just cheap, really cheap, $20 orders. So with Postmates, I would just go after the better restaurants and just hope for the best and try to knock them out. It's about quantity and quality. It's kind of hard to juggle both. Like in this situation today, I was a little bit too picky and I only did 3 orders for lunch, which is really bad. You want to be picky, but not to the point to where you can't get at least 10 orders for lunch. You got to get somewhere around 10 orders for lunch, 10 to 15 for lunch, and 10 to 15 for dinner. I ended up taking 37, last Wednesday. And that's because I was just like, but a lot of them weren't, the best quality and a lot of food. So, like I said, you could multi-app, you could do different things, you could take the bigger orders, or you can maybe just accept whatever that comes to your app, which is fine too. Because you can snag 30 orders a day multi-apping. You can get 30 orders a day just with Postmates and Uber Eats. Because it's just that busy. They're like non-stop. So, I like Postmates. It's cool. I like how they changed the rating system. They don't have a rating system now. So that's kind of cool. And I don't like that you have to wait for the tips, but I don't really need the tips up front. Like, I can wait a few days. And as soon as you get tipped, that's the cool thing about Postmates is every time you get a tip, it notifies you like, hey, you got a tip. And it'll notify you in the little, the top notifications, like Postmates sign, oh, congratulations, you received it'll tell you how much you got. So, and then you have to go back into the app and see which one tipped you that amount. That's the only thing. But besides the low paying for Postmates, it is what it is. They're busy. There's no rating system, and the tips are actually not too bad. They're not bad at all. So I like Postmates. Some people don't like Postmates, but you gotta bank on those tips, and that's all it is. So try to snag them. Try to snag as many as you can, but be picky, but don't be too picky, right? You want to be snagging 2 to 3 orders an hour, so just keep that in mind. But other than that, Postmates, they could raise the pay a little bit. But other than that, I like them. They're really cool. They're really awesome. They keep me busy. Tips are great. I don't have to stress out about no ratings or whatever. And yeah, it's not bad. So anyways, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you want. And also, I have a Facebook group. It's called The Gig Economy. So come join us. Come check us out. Join the Gig Economy family. And yeah, that's it. All right, guys, I hope you have a good day. Stay fresh. Drive safe. Be careful out there. There's people driving crazy nowadays. Drink a lot of water. It's hot. 108. My car says 108. Wow. It's probably not that hot, but, it's probably about 100 degrees. But anyways, guys, please like, comment, subscribe. Join my Facebook group. And until next time, guys, that's it. That's all I've got to say. All right, guys. Peace out. See you.